State of the relationship with his family. He says King Charles will not take his calls, and Prince Harry apparently is desperate for reconciliation, but King Charles is rejecting.
There have been whispers that Harry has been desperately trying to connect with his father and brother through old friends and retired courtiers.
It began with a single sheet of royal stationery. No cameras, no press release, just Prince Harry's quiet request to his father to attend the King's Foundation gala. A letter so polite it could have passed for routine palace admin if the reply hadn't been absolute silence. Days later, an aide delivered the verdict everyone now whispers about: attendance denied. That one-word rejection didn't just shut Harry out of a black-tie fundraiser, it slammed the door in the last hallway back to the crown. Because inside those gilded walls, the king wasn't weighing schedules. He was issuing a verdict on loyalty itself. Why did Charles decide that a family reconciliation wasn't worth a single seat in the back row? And what does it mean when the monarch chooses exclusion over blood? Tonight, we're diving into the ice-cold strategy behind that letter's fate, the star-studded guest list that spoke louder than any royal statement, and the silent power moves now threatening to erase Harry from the story altogether. Strap in. The real drama didn't start with a Netflix deal or a tell-all memoir. It started with an unanswered envelope. Nobody in the press gallery saw it coming, because nothing about it was public. Sometime in late May 2025, just weeks before King Charles's 35-year anniversary gala for the King's Foundation at St. James's Palace, on June 12th, Prince Harry dispatched a handwritten note to Clarence House. Courtiers say the language was deferential and direct. He asked permission to attend, offered to pay his own way, and even floated the idea of slipping in quietly at the back. No camera crew, no press call. To outsiders, it looked like a simple RSVP, but inside palace circles, the request crackled with significance. Why this event? Over 3 decades, the King's Foundation has morphed from Charles's pet conservation project into a heavyweight philanthropic brand, capable of drawing heads of state, Hollywood royalty, and captains of industry into one gilded room. In other words, it's prime real estate for reputational rehab. Accepting an invitation would have put Harry back under the same chandeliers as David Beckham, Meryl Streep, and Kate Winslet. Glossy evidence that the prodigal prince could still glide effortlessly through Britain's power set. More importantly, the gala offered a kind of soft reset. Since Spare, the Netflix doc-series, and a steady stream of tell-all interviews, Harry's relationship with the monarchy has been trapped in a cycle of accusation and rebuttal. A cordial photo op beside his cancer-stricken father might have calmed tabloid fires while signaling to brand partners in California that the royal bridge wasn't completely burned. Insiders whisper that Harry viewed the letter as step 1 in a broader reconciliation plan, a chance to prove he could support the institution without surrendering his new life. One aide, speaking to a Royal Watch YouTube channel, said the prince saw the gala as the safest runway back to duty he's had in years. Yet every benefit for Harry carried equal and opposite risk for the crown. Granting him even a balcony spot would guarantee global headlines, instantly shifting focus from the charity's milestones to the soap opera of father and son. For Charles, still navigating slimmed-down monarchy optics, the calculation wasn't simply, can he come? But what's the price of letting him in? And that question is exactly where the letter hit a wall. But if the ask sounded polite, the reply was anything but. Courtiers say the answer landed faster than a palace press embargo. Attendance denied. No Zoom greeting, no video message, not even a token seat next to distant cousins. According to royal commentary outlets, an aide framed the decision in stark terms. The king sees no reason to reward betrayal with visibility. Whether those were the exact words or tabloid flourish, the sentiment tracks with Charles's recent chill. Reuters has already reported that father and son are not speaking in the wake of Harry's failed May 2nd court appeal over taxpayer-funded police protection, and palace sources privately admit trust evaporated after the memoir. From the monarch's viewpoint, the denial was less a snub than a boundary. In the past 18 months, Harry had released Spare, carving into family confidences, accused palace aides of leaking against him, pursued lawsuits casting the institution as negligent, and demanded full police security while no longer performing duties, an appeal Britain's Court of Appeal dismissed on the 2nd of May, 2025. Allowing him center stage at a flagship royal event would, in senior advisors' eyes, undermine every recent effort to present the crown as stable, duty-first, and future-facing. One courtier put it bluntly to the mirror: how can the king preach loyalty on stage if the family's loudest critic is applauded in row one? The decision also solved a practical headache: security. Harry's request reportedly included fresh talks about protective detail for himself, Meghan, and the children. After the Court of Appeal defeat, officials argued that reinstating police cover, only for a single evening, would create an unfair precedent and reignite legal wrangling. With budget-watching politicians already scrutinizing royal expenditures, the King's team saw a no-win scenario. So the letter went unanswered, the gala seating plan was finalized without a Sussex slot, and the denial filtered quietly to London's royal press pack. Only then did the strategy become clear. Silence itself would be the statement. No press release, no rebuttal, just absence. The loudest possible answer to a prince who has spent years filling microphone space. And when the official guest list finally dropped, stacked with Oscar winners, sports legends, and every working royal, the world saw exactly what that silence meant. The roster for the King's Foundation's 35-year anniversary gala finally hit palace.uk on the morning of June 12, 2025, and royal watchers pounced. 200-plus luminaries were named: David Beckham, Meryl Streep, Kate Winslet, Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, TV gardener Alan Titchmarsh, even Stanley Tucci. Each one handpicked to illustrate the crown's buzzwords of service, unity, continuity. What wasn't on the list shouted louder than any A-lister. Prince Harry's line was blank. For a family that trades in symbolism, the omission was precision-engineered. By surrounding the king with globally admired figures who carry zero royal baggage, the palace broadcast a clean narrative. Britain's modern monarchy stands shoulder to shoulder with people who enhance its brand, not undermine it. One court insider quipped to a broadsheet that night, "If loyalty is the dress code, Harry's wardrobe no longer fits." The optics grew harsher by comparison. Beckham once bonded with Charles over sustainable beekeeping. Winslet is rumored to be joining the foundation as an ambassador. Streep recently praised the king's climate advocacy. Each cameo reinforced the message: this is the company the crown keeps now. Harry's vacant seat wasn't just a logistical footnote, it was a public verdict on whether rebellion still had a place at court. But if the guest list jolted royal watchers, what happened online turned that jolt into a thunderclap. Within hours, X and TikTok lit up. Two phrases rocketed to the global trending board: "No more Harry" and "Royal Reckoning." Memes of palace gates, side-by-side shots of Harry's Netflix promos, and Charles with Beckham, reaction videos dissecting every slight. Social feeds overflowed. One viral post summed it up: "Trash the family for a book. Lose the invite. Actions meet consequences." Even past Sussex supporters showed fatigue. Influencers shifted from sympathy to skepticism. Royal commentators questioned if truth-telling had simply become a business model. The digital backlash mattered for one key reason: Hollywood tracks the same dashboards. The faster those hashtags surged, the colder Harry's brand prospects became, setting the stage for a corporate cool-down on both sides of the Atlantic. And while the internet roasted the prince in real time, Meghan's silence only deepened the intrigue. When the gala headlines broke, many expected Meghan Markle to rally to her husband's side. But there was only silence. No statement, no podcast segment, no Instagram post. Insiders say she was busy building her American Riviera orchard lifestyle brand and pursuing new media deals in California. In a May podcast, she spoke of startup challenges, never once mentioning Harry's royal snub. Hollywood noticed. A People report quoted a source: "Meghan is being very business-minded about the rift. Harry handles England. She handles the brand." Translation: public spats could scare off already nervous partners. Remember, Spotify's Bill Simmons had branded them lazy grifters after axing archetypes, a moment studios haven't forgotten. Netflix executives are equally cautious. Their $100 million deal expires in late 2025, and insiders say renewal talks remain shaky after lukewarm reviews for Meghan's lifestyle series. One industry voice summed it up: "Meghan's brand still has heat. Harry, optional." Her public distance isn't indifference, it's strategy. Protect California interests while the royal drama burns out. Yet even savvy branding couldn't solve Harry's biggest obstacle: security. And that battle would soon expose a deeper rift between father and son. Harry's letter to his father did more than ask for a ticket. It quietly reopened the question that has blocked past olive branches. Who pays to keep the prince safe? On 2 May 2025, the Court of Appeal upheld the Home Office's decision denying him automatic police protection in Britain, leaving Harry devastated and accusing the system of using security as leverage. Buckingham Palace replied only that the matter had been examined repeatedly by the courts. From the Crown's view, protocol is clear. No working role, no public-funded cover. Granting an exception risked reopening legal battles the king considers settled. Advisors recommended a hard line, deny the invite, sidestep the security bill. But the fallout grew. A recent poll showed 97% of Britons backstripping Harry's titles. Meanwhile, royal commentators say early conversations are surfacing about removing Sussex HRH styles when William ascends. No confirmation yet, but what was unthinkable is now table talk. For Harry, the risk is clear. Without titles or protection, his brand slips from royal rebel to ex-royal celebrity. Each closed door narrows his path, and each headline reminds investors that the Sussex name now carries an asterisk. Next, with Hollywood cooling and royal sentiment hardening, could this be the final push that forces Harry to reinvent or fade altogether? If the palace's response left Harry out in the cold, Hollywood's thermostat is dropping fast. The first chill hit in June 2023, when Spotify axed archetypes and exec Bill Simmons dismissed the Sussexes as lazy effing grifters. Brand partners noticed. Ad buyers scrubbed Sussex campaigns. Producers stopped taking Zoom calls. Netflix, once the couple's financial life raft, has cooled too. Leaks say execs are exhausted by poor ratings for With Love, Meghan, and worried about renewing their $100 million deal expiring late 2025. One Yahoo report even suggests a divorce clause was quietly added to hedge risk. Corporate caution is spreading. A major auto sponsor paused talks after focus groups cited drama fatigue. An LAPR strategist put it bluntly, "He came in as royalty. He's edging toward tabloid. As deals wobble, so does leverage." Without palace access or reliable buzz, the Sussex brand suddenly feels expendable. But while contracts can be rewritten, history can't, and echoes from the past are now haunting Harry's future. Royal historians have been drawing an uncomfortable parallel. Edward VIII, the king who abdicated for love, then faded into polite irrelevance. One palace biographer told the New York Post Harry carries the same sadness that dogged Edward in exile. The comparison isn't just poetic, it's procedural. When Edward stepped out, titles were trimmed, security cut, diaries cleared. Sound familiar? Modern numbers echo that threat. A May 2025 Express poll of 4,500 Brits found 97% support stripping Harry's titles. Among younger voters, YouGov shows 61% hold an unfavorable view. Parliament has even debated streamlining title removals, citing Harry and Meghan by name. Inside Whitehall, aides whisper that once William inherits the throne, fresh letters patent could quietly sever HRH styles for the Sussex children. One royal commentator put it bluntly, "When a Windsor stops serving the firm quietly edits the family photo." For Harry, the danger isn't exile, it's quiet erasure. Fewer invites, fading headlines, a historical footnote. Unless he builds a new identity beyond the monarchy, history may write him out before the crown even acts. One unanswered letter has sketched an unmistakable new outline around Prince Harry's life. The monarchy's verdict? Silence can slice deeper than any public rebuke. Hollywood's response? Every trending hashtag can shave dollars off a contract. Public mood? Sympathy has curdled into fatigue, and fatigue votes with its feet. The King's Foundation Gala was never just another charity soiree. It became a litmus test. In choosing exclusion over accommodation, Charles signaled that the crown's future sits with figures who reinforce its image, not relatives who monetize its missteps. Meanwhile, Meghan's calculated distance and Hollywood's cooling interest expose a harsher reality. Without the royal stamp, Harry's brand must stand on its own, and the safety net is already fraying. So what's left for Britain's once favorite spare? Reinvention or erasure? a fresh identity beyond Windsor ties, or a slow fade into the same sepia tone that swallowed Edward VIII. The page has turned, and for the first time it may stay turned, no matter how many heartfelt letters reach the palace gate. If this deep dive kept you hooked, hit the like button so more curious minds can find it, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because the next royal move could land any day, and you won't want to miss what happens when history turns the page again.